So I created this exact same video for my Instagram today, which is about 3 mistakes that I feel like we all make when it comes to setting our vision in life. You know, the Bible talks about without a vision, people perish. And what I've noticed is that every time I kind of like lose the magnetic pull towards a bigger vision of my life, this is when I make the least amount of progress. But when I have a crystal clear vision that's like pulling me towards something I actually want in the future, that's really where I make the most progress, right? So, really, I feel like it comes down to 3 main mistakes that we make when it comes to setting this vision that keeps us, not having as strong of a pull towards the future. And the first thing I think is just really, not having something that's authentic to who you are right now. So for me, at least, there's been times in the past where I may have had a certain vision for my life, coming down here to Dallas, Texas, and getting in the modeling entertainment industry and, being in the nightclubs. I was a nightclub promoter for a period of time, living downtown, downtown apartment and envisioning this life for myself. Oh, I want to be downtown. I want to be in the club. I want to be in the entertainment industry. And I wanted to, be around all these women and stuff like that, right? So, I had this vision for myself and I created it, but at that moment, obviously, coming to full circle, realizing that's not what I was looking for. That's not the lifestyle I really wanted to live day in and day out, and having that change over time. And it took me a while, but that transition and progressed into traveling and being this digital nomad and being out in Thailand and doing that whole journey. And I did that as well, right? And, here I come at another point in my life where, I'm recreating another vision for myself. And what does that look like for the next chapter, right? So I think that, as we grow, our visions change. Even going back to high school, I wanted to be a basketball player. Like I wanted to go to the league. I wanted to, make it to the NBA and stuff like that. And that was the life I was creating for myself. But, as we change, as we grow, we have to understand that our vision changes, our vision grows as well. I think that our vision is given to us by God. I think he puts us in our heart on what we want. But for us to tap in and be privy to what we want is going to require us to not listen to so many of the outside voices, whether that's a parent telling you what you think you should do, or a sibling, or a friend group, or society as a whole, or the media, or the rap industry. Whatever it may be. Like, we have so many different voices telling us what we should want in life. But the first step is like getting crystal clear on what you want in life and what does that vision look like. And what's helped me with this most recently is really tapping into, the younger version of myself, the 10-year-old version of myself. Like, what did I want, when I was coming up, envisioning life, right? And luckily for me, I have this self-image poem I wrote when I was 10 years old. That pretty much in detail talks about what I'm doing now and the things that I enjoyed then are still stuff that I enjoy now, and just being able to have that as a compass, as a mission, as something I'm going towards has been amazing to just look back on it and reflect with. And again, I think this goes back to really just what did you enjoy when you were young? Like, what did you really want to do? What how did you imagine life? And this kind of transitions into mistake number 2 I feel like a lot of us make is we focus so much on the materialistic things. Like, I got the vision board back there, there's Lambos on it and Rolexes and houses and stuff like that, which is great. But, in order to obtain those things, we talk about on this channel is, becoming the person that would be the type of person to have those things. And I heard this on a podcast the other day. It was with Wes Watson. And he was talking about, he was at this, it was a lunch. And there was this young guy, he came up and was like, yo, Wes, you changed my life. I appreciate all the stuff that you're doing. And I know one day I'm gonna have a Bugatti like you. I see the Bugatti around here in Miami and I'm hella motivated, right? So, Wes has this, sweet Bugatti. So he said something profound to him that was just crazy. It's like, bro, once you get there, it would only, it's like once you get to the point to where you own a Bugatti, it would only make sense that you would have one. And it wouldn't be as important once you get there. It's like, I'm the type of person that has Bugatti. Like, what else would I drive? And he was with another, successful entrepreneur at the time. And he's like, if we go everybody in this restaurant goes and stands outside and they ask, whose Bugatti is that? You know, everybody will say us. And it hit because it made sense, like probably true. If you think about like other successful people, right? You see them have a level of success and you're like, it makes sense for them to have the life that they have. Like you look at somebody, you know, somebody just has that aura about them. Where like, you know, you see the millionaires or people successful in business on Instagram, and if they're really killing life, you know, in the money department, in the health department, and in multiple departments of life, then you can almost assume that they have the materialistic lifestyle to go with it, you know, without even seeing it. You know, you could just see a person talk, and just by the way they carry themselves, the way they move their hands, you know, the energy they have. I'm cultivating and working on this for myself, right? Because I see the importance of it, you know, becoming the person before you have the thing. So, you know, my point with this is that a lot of times, again, we focus on the materialistic, what can I get? But truly, it's like, who can I become? Who must I become in order to have these things? And this goes back to the first mistake is like, we, you know, think about what someone else has and the person, and a lot of times we don't even think about who they are. You know, we look at rappers or, you know, sports players and like, yeah, you know, you may really love music and that may really be your passion. I'm not trying to like, you know, deter you away from that. Like for sure, go for it. Or you may really love basketball and that may be your passion. And I'm not trying to steer you away. Go for it, right? But the reality is like not everybody will make it. So we have to adapt and change over time. But less about that, more about like, we don't know these people's entire life. So it's like, sometimes we set role models who don't necessarily have the life that we want. Like these people might not be the happiest people on the planet. They could be doing drugs. They could be, you know, portraying this lifestyle that is also great. But, you know, behind the scenes, they're really unhappy, seeking help, seeking therapists, seeking advice, seeking coaches, whatever it may be. So it's really like a two-part thing. It's like, one, question again what you're looking at in terms of like, is this in alignment with who I am right now for the vision I want to create for my life? And then who is that person? What are their habits? What do they think? What do they feel? What do they do on a daily basis? What do they not do on a daily basis? It's just as important, if not more important, what a person doesn't do versus what they do. No pun intended. Because they be shitting on people. Anyway, yeah, so it's just like, you know, imagine this person. And again, how this kind of ties into the last one is, I think if you go back and you think about the 10-year-old version of yourself, you know, before the critical faculty sets in, but you still have gained enough information in life to be like, okay, this is what I want. You know yourself. And there's really no limits at that 9, 10, you know, you're kind of confident. You think you can conquer the whole world. I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And everything's possible. Right? There's not too much fear that's set in. Hopefully, you know, I don't know your exact situation, but from what I've observed, I'm not the first person to mention like this 10-year-old age as a good barometer for what you should do. As a side tangent to that, Warren Buffett talks about how he started investing in stocks at 10 years old, and you know, Bill Gates gives similar advice, like go back to when you were 10 and what were you doing. So you know, this is something that's, you know, universal to a lot of successful people, to think about your 10-year-old version of yourself. But I'm going to add to it and say, think about that version of yourself, the 10-year-old version, and who did they want to be? Not what did they want to have. Like, yes, you wanted to have certain things, but who did they want to be? You know, what type of things that they enjoy? How did they look? What type of clothes was they wearing? And when I say what kind of clothes was they wearing, I'm saying like when you were 10 and you were imagining your older version of yourself, who did they look like? You know, me personally, I imagine me having dreads. I imagine me having the sharp hairline. I imagine me to be wearing polos, black polos, and black t-shirts and suits. But I wanted to have, you know, the bust down watch. I wanted to have the buffs on. You know, I'm from Michigan, so, you know, Detroit with the buffs and all that. The jewelry, I want the big King J chain. I want the, you know, the Jesus piece. I want to be a little bit more Aki, you know, like 220 pounds. So like me tapping into that version of myself, my 10-year-old version, and imagine what he looked like, I felt a resurgence of energy. I felt a renewing of the clarity of the energizing quality of tapping into your inner child, right? Like another thing I added to that, which, you know, I haven't been so cognizant of, is like being jacked, having a nice arm tattoo sleeve, having, a nice chest piece of tattoos. And it's like, as I got older, I think I tried to conform to what I thought success looked like in terms of society. But it's like, success is a life that you want for yourself, that will make you happy, that will make, who you're called to be the most fulfilled, right? And I think that's for a reason. Like, as you become the version of yourself who you needed when you were 10 years old, or who you looked up to when you were 10 years old, or who you wanted to be when you were 10 years old, as you go and create that version of yourself, just like Michelangelo said, he saw the statue of David already in that big block. He just had to chip away the excess stone around it. So as you start to chip away the excess stone around the character that you're creating internally, externally, in all facets of life, down from the habits, down to the mindset, the clothes, the environment, everything, right? Because become the person that you want to be, you truly have to become them in every way. As you start to do that, recognize that it's for a reason. I think that, as you become that, you're able to tap into a specific demographic of people who you're called to help, that if you try to be anything different, you might not serve the people who you were called to serve. You might not serve your purpose at the highest level. I need to go fulfill the vision of me in the suit, 220 pounds, jacked, with the tattoo sleeve, with the buffs, talking how I talk, from where I'm from, doing what I do, because there may be somebody that's inspired by that. There may be somebody who can relate to that. But if I try to be something else, if I try to, conform to society's version of success and what that looks like, then I may lose some people who I'm called to help from a certain environment, if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So that's number 2. I know that was kind of a more long-winded one. And then 3, to tie it all together, is like believing it's possible for you. That's really the most important, because without that belief, without that faith in yourself, that you can do it, that you can actualize this person, that you can actualize this vision, that you could really, based on where you're at right now and who you want to be in the future, and, really recognizing that it's going to take you becoming someone else, all of that understood and having that clarity, without the belief that it's possible, you will never take action. You will never start moving towards it, because you think, okay, maybe they can do it, maybe this person could do it, but me, I don't really think I'm cut out for it. So that belief in yourself, that faith in yourself, is very, very crucial. And, we talk a lot about subconscious mind, reprogramming the subconscious on this channel. So it's like, in order to fully believe, we have to recognize first that there's a lot of patterns or, different ways of thinking or ways of being or ways of doing. I call them patterns or habits that we've been doing that hasn't got us what we want. And, that's probably been influenced by the environment, the beliefs that put into us by society, by your parents, by school, by teachers, whatever it may be. But there's something in us that doesn't fully believe already. So we have to consciously do the work to change those beliefs, because if we don't consciously change those beliefs, then we're never going to achieve the result, because the subconscious mind is where beliefs are housed, and that subconscious mind controls 95% of our actions. So it's like, we have to penetrate the subconscious mind. We have to, start to change some of these deep inner beliefs about ourselves to really fully step into the person that we want to be. And part of the reprogram is what we talked about here, getting clear on what you want, recognizing that's going to take a new version of yourself, and then coupling that with a set of daily routines, a set of daily habits, a set of daily disciplines that you are non-negotiable, that you have to do every single day, that creates this version of yourself. So it's like, who already has what I want in these areas of life? What do they do on a daily basis? And why am I not doing the same thing? And really sitting with those thoughts and exercising those thoughts, and then implementing, the strategies that they use to get what they want, the habits, the routines, the mindsets, the beliefs, the patterns, right? So implementing some of those things from the people that already have what you want is going to create it in your own life. That's how we change. It's new actions. Without new actions, nothing changes. We can do all the mindset work, the visualization, the belief work, the affirmation work, but until we change the pattern, until we change actually what we're doing in our daily routine, our daily habits, nothing's going to change. So it's like, me producing more content, me changing my wardrobe, me showing up as a certain version of myself, imagining and visualizing this version of myself, but actually following through and doing it, going to the gym, eating more healthy, all these things. all these things are changing my subconscious beliefs, my subconscious patterns, and creating this version of myself who I envision. But again, it starts with having that energy to want to go after something new, having that enthusiasm to want to go after something bigger than yourself. And it starts with absolute clarity on where you are right now in life and what you want, and then recognizing that, okay, it's going to take a new version of myself, a new person, and then fully believing in your ability to become that person now, because you have it in you. At the end of the day, you're made in the image of God. Like, you can do anything that you put your mind to. It's just like, you first have to believe it, and belief is just a decision, deciding to believe. So let's not overcomplicate it. I got to do all these different things. Like, just decide to believe right now that I'm fully not only capable of becoming the person that I need to be in the future to have what I want, but I'm going to do it. I'm deciding I'm going to do it, no matter how long it takes, no matter what. I'm just going to commit, and through that commitment, you just start to take those little steps, and then just persist until you succeed. So, hope that helps anybody out there. If you did like the video, give it a like. Comment what you want to see next. We talk about all things self-improvement, mindset, becoming the best version of yourself. So if you're interested in content like that, definitely stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.